Welcome back to In the Box. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Instagram at OwnersBox and head over to OwnersBox.com to sign up and play weekly fantasy sports today. Also, download our app on the iOS and Google Play stores. Don't forget, scroll down to like, comment, and subscribe to let YouTube know this is content you actually want to see. Welcome back to another very special episode of In the Box. Today marks our 30th episode. Yes, I said it, 30th. We have made it officially 30 episodes this year, and we're going to do 30 plus more going forward. We're excited to have a very special guest, my good friend, my ex-roommate, Tyler Baum, here with us today. Ty, how you doing?
Going on, guys. Let's pick some winners, yeah?
Let's go, baby. It's great. You know, we love having special guests. Ty, we had your good friend Robert on as one of our first guests a few weeks back.
That was a tough week.
Yeah, tough week for, all around. We didn't have great weeks. Rob definitely didn't have a great week, but we're looking for a big bounce back slate. I think last week, our best record amongst the four of us was 1-1-1 in myself, and I'm not very proud of that. So definitely looking for a huge bounce back week this week. But before we dive in, can you just talk a little bit about your background, your fandom as a Giants fan, just how that's been this year for you?
Yeah, so it's actually been a rough couple years, actually. So we played in our most meaningful game in the last 3+ years, this week, arguably, and it went pretty terrible. So I personally don't think Daniel Jones was ready to play. I mean, Colt McCoy came in and he got roughed up too, but he did have a nice completion, and it's going to be a complicated road going forward. I'm really not happy about the direction of the team right now.
Overall. So yeah, we'll dive into more of the Giants here in a second, but can we just start by talking about that Browns and Ravens game last night? So just for the record, I was on the Browns and the over in a teaser. So I had +9 on the spread and I had the over at 40. But a lot of people that I was with watching the game, they all had Browns +3. And I'm just going to throw it out there. That was the worst beat of the season, and I don't think it's even close. What do you guys think? Do you think that was easily the worst beat this year?
No brainer. There's nothing even close that came to that. I was worried not about my bet. I needed fucking Rashard Higgins over 5 fantasy points to keep in my season long, and I was sweating that out all night. So I thought he was going to fumble and it was going to fuck me. So that's what I was really worried about. So the safety was just like a good thing for me, but for everyone else, that's fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just
brutal. Jeremy had that.
Yeah, that's a brutal beat. I had like a parlay with the over in the game with the Browns. So it was like it was going to push. God. So I was going to win half the money. And then it was just like, are you kidding me? Because it looked like the Browns were going to win that game pretty easily on that 4th and whatever, 10 or 15 when Lamar came in and threw the touchdown. And then it just completely turned around. But yeah, that's a terrible
He
beat.
shit himself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He was walking like he had to pull up his ass, to be honest. I don't know what other walk or jog looks like that if you don't like, other than you having to take a shit. But besides the fact, I think like Trace McSorley, when he came in, I think Browns bettors were like creaming their pants. Like they were they were in Wonderland seeing Trace McSorley back-to-back drives. Like, how long does it take to take a shit? Because that was like a good 25 minutes. Like it must have been a pretty bad shit if he was taking one. You know what I mean?
He made it back on the field right on time.
Yeah, and then he comes back for 4th down and throws a touchdown to Hollywood Brown.
But yeah, dude, that lateral bullshit at the end of the game to like kill the spread, that happens once a season. I mean, it hit the Raiders, I think 2 years ago, and every now and then, which is nuts.
Yeah, and I'm happy I didn't take the spread. I really, in primetime, I always do a teaser. I rarely take straight up spreads, but I actually genuinely feel bad for bettors because I had a buddy here who was on the Ravens -3, and he was like sweating the whole 4th quarter. He was like, fuck this. Like Trace McSorley is killing me right now. And then that shit happens, and he was celebrating, and then the other half of the house was not celebrating. They were pissed off. So I think me being in the middle, winning my bet in the teaser was kind of hilarious because like I didn't have a side really, but I feel bad for Browns bettors, to say the least. I mean, the Browns, they're a good team this year, and I think they put on a good performance yesterday, better than I thought they would do, honestly. And I'm pretty bummed they lost, though, looking at it, from this perspective. But
you can't trust the Browns in prime time like ever, though. So I know the line just kind of had me like fucked up a little bit.
Yeah, like Baker in primetime, obviously not the best performances in his past, but I did like them. I think as an all-around team, they're great. But my next question for everyone here is, who would you rather see in the playoffs, the Ravens or the Browns, if you're the other team? Who are you least scared about between the two?
I mean, they have essentially equal playoff experience. I mean, Lamar is 0-2 in the playoffs and has gotten solidly bodied both times. I mean, like Baker talks a big game, but they're basically equals when it comes to postseason runs. So I think the Browns look pretty good out there. I mean, they have a solid roster. So, I'd be nervous about the Browns.
I don't want to see the Ravens. I don't. I mean, I always think they're so much better than they are. I always think they're going to turn into last year's team, that prolific run. They obviously have a great run offense still this year, but I just think they'll turn around somehow when they really haven't all year.
Yeah, I like the Browns. I wasn't really like into the Browns, but watching last night's game, I mean that offense is pretty lethal. But they need to figure out defense. You can't give up that many points to a Ravens offense who hasn't been good all year. So I think if they figure out, like, I would much rather play the Ravens at this point.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that, just because what's his name? Baker is going to have those games where he's going to throw those picks, but he was on a 5-game no interception streak. Like, for him, that's insane. Like, that's very, very good. And I even was shocked. I didn't know that nugget till before the game last night, but he threw that awful pick, that literally just grundling pick in his own zone, which would look like made it look horrible for Browns bettors. But I feel like you're always gonna have to bank on a turnover like that from Baker in a big game like that. Yeah. But saying that, I think the Browns all around are just a better squad, and they were also missing their corner. They were missing Ward last night too.
Okay.
And another one of their defensive backs. So I think that plays into it, even though the Ravens don't have the best passing offense, obviously. But in the playoffs, when it comes down to it, I'd rather face the Ravens at this point with how they're looking. But nonetheless, the Ravens got the win last night, and they are, pushing for the playoff right now. I think I honestly thought the Browns were going to have a chance of winning the division, but it's pretty tough sledding from here on out. But interesting to see that team in the playoffs. We'll see how it goes. Speaking of playoffs and implications, and one of the most interesting divisions over the last 3 or 4 weeks, the NFC East. We have Ty Baum, arguably our NFC East expert, here with us today. I, on paper, love the football team. We talked about this 2 weeks ago on the cast. I said I like the football team to win it, but the Giants are 1 game out and have an easier schedule going forward. So, Ty, can you enlighten us on what you think the Giants' chances are for the NFC East this year?
Yeah, I mean, so it's a little complicated. The Giants, I think the Giants arguably have the tougher road ahead. I mean, they're playing the Browns on Sunday Night Football next week. They got the Ravens after that, who are obviously looking good based on last night. And then they close it up with the Cowboys, which, you would theorize would be a win for them. The football team, on the other hand, has the Seahawks this weekend, which is obviously a huge game. And then they got the Panthers and the Eagles. So, Riverboat Ron has the guys fired up for Washington. It kind of looks like Washington is going to take the division, which is going to kill my plus 1,400 preseason NFC East division winner, New York Football Giants. It's just tough to say. The Giants defense, they do all they can every single game, and Daniel Jones will hand the ball off twice and throw a wild incompletion and just send them back out there with no rest. So it's going to be another agonizingly close playoff push where they come up just short, kill their draft stock, and don't make the playoffs, which is very on brand.
That's that's the silver lining of it, is if, you want them to make it, but if they don't, it's like, fuck, we just push for it, didn't get there, and now we're lower in the draft. So it's definitely a double-edged sword here if they don't make it. But
yeah, dude. And, the Eagles are looking like a completely different team with Jalen Hurts. And
that was my next topic. Yeah, you're on cue right now. I love it.
They have the tie to work with too. If that comes into play, that could be a huge factor for them. I think, Jalen Hurts makes them a completely different team. They're way more dynamic in the run game, and Carson Wentz sucks. So it looks like they're moving on.
Is Carson Wentz dead in Philadelphia? If Hurts had a great game last week, they beat the Saints, a very top playoff team. They were the 1 seed, and now they're the 2 seed. Pack took the 1 seed because of that win. So I will take that as a fan. But are we taking Jalen Hurts seriously right now?
Dude, look, Jalen Hurts beat the 10-2 Saints with the exact same roster that Carson Wentz has been shitting the bed with all year. Miles Sanders came out after the game and praised Jalen Hurts with a brutal slap in the face to Carson Wentz. However, Carson Wentz is worth like $50 million in dead cap, which is so like, what are you going to do? No one's going to trade for that and saddle all that baggage, especially with what's going on with Nick Foles and how that's working out for Chicago. So, if I'm the Eagles, I'm just like, look, we got to eat this mistake with Wentz and just ride the hot hand and see what Jalen Hurts can do in these last couple semi-meaningless games.
I'm riding with Hurts too. I think he's fun to watch because he came in against the Packers 2 weeks ago before he started this week's game. But he played well. Like, he came in, threw a touchdown, was moving the ball, 3 straight drives. They scored like 20 points in the fourth quarter, or end of third quarter to the fourth quarter, which was like triple the amount of points they scored all game with Carson Wentz. So, not saying the Packers defense is anything special, but I'm just saying I think he's a serious option there, and I think they're going to go forward with him for the rest of the season, and then possibly next season as well. I actually believe that.
I'll give you an underrated storyline on Jalen Hurts. So the only reason why the Eagles took him in the second round is because they had similar feelings about Russell Wilson in the third round of the 2010 draft or whatever that was, and they passed on him. And Howie Roseman was like, if we ever feel this way about a player again, we are fucking taking him. So, that's how the Eagles ended up with Jalen Hurts in the second round.
Imagine it just works out for them, similar to our Russell Wilson story. That would be insane. Philly, dude. I mean, they've been up and down this year. They're just tough to watch. I mean, the division was literally handed to them on a platter this year. Everyone thought they were going to win it, and now they're in third place with like very minimal chance to do anything. So imagine he comes back. Imagine he just pulls it out. Like, the Giants could lose, the football team could lose, and the Eagles could just start winning. Like, it's not out of the question. It's not likely, but it's definitely not out of the question. So that would be a huge storyline. They're
playing the Cardinals this week, and the Cardinals are shit against the spread at home. That could be an interesting play for anyone who's a fan of the Eagles.
For sure. Yeah, I probably won't gamble on the Eagles because I've had some bad beats with them this year. But yeah, maybe a teaser or something like that. Definitely underdogs in that scenario. So we'll look for that. Before we go into our Week 14 recap, Ty Baum, you and I were chatting yesterday about this. You obviously know where I stand on the MVP debate this year. Rodgers versus Mahomes. It's clearly a two-man race. What is your take on the MVP race, and who do you think eventually takes the crown this year?
Look, obviously, it's great for the NFL to have, a new generation player become the face of the league and just consistently rack up accolades. So, I lean Pat Mahomes, but he's starting to cool off a little bit. He threw 3 picks against, an AFC playoff opponent in the Dolphins. So if Rodgers just goes on one of these tears where he's going, for 354 touchdowns and no picks to close out the last 3 games of the season, which is totally possible, then I don't see how you couldn't give it to him.
For sure. And just to build on that, I saw a stat yesterday by CBS. They tweeted, and it's only happened twice in NFL history where a quarterback has thrown over 40 touchdowns and under 8 interceptions in a season. Rodgers in 2011 when he won the MVP, Rodgers in 2016 when he won the MVP, and then this would be the third year where Rodgers would do it if he did over 40. He's at 39 touchdowns and 4 interceptions this year, so he just needs one more touchdown and less than 4 interceptions in his last few games here, which is very likely, and he would make it the third time, and he's the only QB ever to do it. So I don't know. Based off past experiences, there's never been a Pat Mahomes comparison, though, so it's going to be, as you said, the face of the league, the younger generation. You turn on your TV on Sunday, Pat Mahomes is in every single commercial. Like, him and Rodgers are in a few together with State Farm and Bose, but Mahomes is literally the face of every ad these days. So I can see them going with Mahomes for sure.
Mahomes is $1 billion asset to the NFL, and he truly is disgusting. And like, if he were to get the league MVP, I'm not going to have a serious problem with that. He is nasty at football. But, Rodgers is having a uniquely Aaron Rodgers MVP season. So, if he gets
it's going to come down. It's not going to be.
I think we're missing a guy too, though. Derrick Henry, showing how valuable he is to that team as well. I think he's a third front runner who's going to come at the end of the year because they're shit when he doesn't play well. When he plays well, they're a really good team. He's that important to them. Obviously, he's not on the level of Mahomes and Rodgers, but I think he'll come in as the third runner in this MVP race.
Yeah, and I actually don't hate that. The funny thing I read another stat nugget this morning on Derrick Henry. He's done it 4 times in his career where he's had over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the next guy that's done it is like done it twice or 3 times. So he's already like over the number one, like in history of the league to do that. And obviously that's unbelievable. And watching that, Derrick Henry's a specimen out there, but I don't see it being more than a 2-man race this year, even though Derrick Henry does put that team on his back. And I personally love betting on the Titans. Like I bet on them almost every week. Like I love them. So I don't know. Derrick Henry's up there, but I just don't see it being anyone but Mahomes or Rodgers at this point, personally.
Yeah. It's crazy to think. Yeah,
Mahomes and Rodgers have their teams in first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both 1 seed AFC, 1 seed NFC. I mean, that's literally, you look up MVP, most valuable player, they're putting their team in a position to take home field buys here. Like that is huge. And Rodgers and the Packers have never had home field through an NFC championship. All 4 NFC championships Rodgers has played in have been on the road. Fun fact for you. So Rodgers wants the 1 seed. He wants to play his ass off.
Didn't they play in the NFC championship last year at home?
No, they played in San Francisco, bro. We got killed.
That's on me.
Come on.
Oh, they beat the Seahawks at home, right?
And then we played the Bears in the year we won in 2012.
That's on me. It was their game against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, but anyways, I think it's a 2-man race. I go Rodgers. I think a lot of people are having Mahomes as well. So it's going to be an interesting, at the end of the year, who they come down with. But let's move on. Let's go to our week 14 recap. And as I mentioned earlier on the top of the show, we did not have our best week. Our winner between the 4 of us on our OwnersBox team here was myself. I went 1-1-1, which is nothing to write home about. And I'm not proud of it, but I was somehow the winner last week. That moves me to my 4th push of the season. I've had 4 pushes in the last month and a half on my bets.
No one else has had one either. That's wild.
I'm the only one on the whole show that's had a push with our picks. So it's interesting how I keep getting those, but I'll take it. Our overall record so far to the year to date is I'm 25-13-4. Jer is 22-20. Avery is 21-21. Creeping up from the basement. Jeremy, don't sleep on that. And Devin, I hate to say it, only guy under 500, 18-24. That's why he's not in the pod anymore. But love you, Dev. Anyways. But Jer, can you just go through your week 14 picks quickly for us, and then we'll move on?
Yeah, so I was trying to not go obviously 0-9 the last 3 weeks, so that's a good start. Went 1-2. Bills obviously won. That was a big win. The total, this was just brutal. I mean, I expected the Giants to get more than 7 points. It looked like it was going to hit, and then they just couldn't get any points after. They got their 7 very easily, and then they just couldn't do anything. So that was a bad beat. That was probably the worst of my 3 beats, and 2 beats, and then the Jets. The Jets was just
the worst bet. That was the worst bet
that
was made last week.
Yeah, I was just like, okay,
record.
this is just. The Jets have given up on the season at this point. So.
I had a pretty bad bet as well, though.
Yeah. Avery did have a couple good.
Bets. Guys, let's not look over the fact that the final score was 43-3 or whatever. 40 you didn't cover that. You could have doubled your spread and some change and still not covered. So that's up. That's up for worst bet of the week. I don't know what Avery's about to chef up or what he's about to tell us, but it's hard to beat that one in terms of worst.
Avery had a couple bad bets.
All right, I had 2. Let's relax here, same as you.
All right. Well, Avery, since you went 1 and 2 as well, can you walk us through your picks and tell us what they were?
I had my favorite was the Texans -1 on the road.
Yeah,
that was a beatdown in Chicago, dude. Absolute beatdown.
They have no fucking heart, man. Are you kidding me? That was bullshit. So I'm chasing the Bears this week again. I'm gonna say it. When I lose to a team like that, I always want to just get them back. It feels personal to me. Then my dog was the Raiders +3. Another terrible bet.
Shout out Raiders Nation, bro, for that one. We feel you.
Yeah, so they stink too. And then my total was the Chiefs Dolphins over 49.
Oh, that one felt good. I had the under in that game. I thought it was going to hit.
We did do our Instagram post where we said our favorite plays of the 3 we give out, and you did give out a winner, Avery. So at least people on social media saw your best play, and you were confident in it. And you said I would take it at 69.5, even though it's 49.5.
Which. That wasn't just a lock, I would say.
I mean, no, it was a great bet. Hey, at the end of the day, I gave out a push on the. Yeah, it was a winner, and people watch our stories and shit. So that's.
Did you give out a winner, Jer?
No, I gave up a loser.
Jeremy got a loser. So, anyways, Ave, good job, 1-2. You know, we're looking for a better week this week, obviously, but
Yeah.
we'll definitely bounce back. For my picks last week, as I said, I went 1-1-1. My favorite of the week was the Packers -7 against the Lions. This actually looked good all game too. Like, I really was confident in this play. The Packers defense just like decides to not play defense at the end of the game when they're up a couple, like over 2 possessions or 2 possessions are over. They always give up points. So I was sweating that. I was really worried that, you know, Mason Crosby was going to miss that field goal and then they would get a field goal and I would somehow lose -7. I ended up pushing, so I'll take that, I guess. My dog of the week, cannot believe I'm saying this. I was shitting my pants when I gave this pick out last week. Chargers +3 against the Falcons. 2 teams who just don't know how to finish football games. But the Chargers somehow pulled it out with the last-second field goal to win. I was sweating that whole time. Probably my least favorite pick last week, but it was my only winner. So I guess I love that. And then my total last week, I don't even want to say this out loud. Vikings and Bucks over 51. I want to kill Dan Bailey. I hate Dan Bailey. I sat on my couch right here. I'm looking at it right now for 3 hours and watched Dan Bailey miss field goal after field goal. And they weren't even close. Like, it wasn't like, oh shit, like it hit the post. They were like, you could have put another field goal to the right of one of his field goals and it would have missed. Like, this was just tragic. So I'm going to put the Vikings on my no bet list this week. I'm not taking them in any way. So they're on the no fly list for me. So 1-1-1 was my week. Looking to bounce back this week though. Now, since we've recapped our unfortunate week we had, can we move to week 15? And I would like our special guest, Mr. T. Baum, to give us his favorite plays for week 15.
Yeah. All right. So I got a couple and I got some statistical nuggets for you guys here. My favorite of the week is Dolphins -2.5 at home against the Patriots. Let me read something off for you guys. The Dolphins are a league best 10-3 against the spread this year, which makes sense for a team that was pretty shitty last year and is turning it around solidly and, you know, is having a nice second half of the season playing well against the Chiefs. Flores is 19-10 against the spread as a head coach, and 4 of those losses came in his first month as head coach. So, you know, if you're looking at the time where he's got real experience with his squad, he's 19-6 against the spread. This is a huge game for the Dolphins. Like, they're trying to lock up this playoff spot and like make a push here. They played really well against a team that looks like it's going to be the 1 seed in the AFC. If I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm feeling fucking good about having Tua under center and, you know, making some shit happen. Obviously, he's playing against Belichick, who is historically nice against rookie quarterbacks, but like I said, I think Tua is just like a transcendental player who's got a shot to, you know, really turn the Dolphins into a solid franchise. So I'm pulling for him. I think they're going to play nice in this divisional game and come away with the dub.
I also love the fact that I love that analysis. First of all, thank you for that.
They're so shit in Miami.
I also love the number at 2.5 and not 3, just for the record. I think that's what really sells it for me. And I think I might be tailing with you on that one, Tyler.
I might have to go ahead and place it right now on the hook right here.
Before it goes to 3, I could see that happening too.
My dog, I got another divisional game lined up here. I'm taking the Bears +3. Obviously, they're coming off a huge week against Houston. Playoff hopes are looking grim, but, you know, Dan Bailey, like you just said, is ice cold right now. Zimmer probably wants to cut him and just roll with no kicker. And Trubisky, realistically, is, you know, he's playing for his career now. Like, if he loses out, then they're going to have to be fully, like, evaluating just clearing house and starting over. So coming off a big week with nice offensive production, I like the Bears to, you know, maybe even win this game in Minnesota, which is a team that looks pretty deflated coming off a series of bad losses.
For sure. Yeah, the Bears, as I said, I'm no fly on the Vikings. So I don't know. I don't think I'll take this just because I hate the Bears and I hate the Vikings because they're such wild cards. But I hope you crush that bet. The Vikings are dead to me. And Dan Bailey, the fact that he's even still on that roster blows my mind. So maybe he won't be after this week, after he misses 5 more field goals and you cover +3. But I wish you the best of luck on that one. What is your total this week?
All right, so my total this week is an agonizingly low number that I'm going to take the under on and just suffer through the full 60 minutes of the game. I'm taking the under 40.5 in the Bengals-Steelers game, and I'll tell you why right now. The Steelers have the best points per game on defense, and the Bengals have the 30th points per game on offense. So, you know, I could see a one-sided game here, but I don't see the Steelers putting up 41 points and taking care of it on their own. Divisional game, you know, tough sledding in the middle. I could see these guys just handing the ball off 25 times. Steelers win in a weird, like, 27-3, 27-7 type of game. These guys are going to beat the shit out of each other. You know, it's a divisional game, and, you know, I just really don't see high-flying aerial attack out of Brandon Allen, you know.
No, absolutely not. I actually like that. I can't believe that number's that low. Like, you think that's like a teaser line, but it's just that is the Bengals for you this year without Joe Burrow, and that is the Steelers who control the ball and aren't going to put up a ton of points, and they're going to shut you down on D. So I like that play as well.
The whole wide receiving core is like freezing cold with bricks for hands over the last 3 weeks, you know. So I think both teams are going to be hitting the ground and just winding the clock and getting through the game.
For sure. I like those 3 plays a lot. And I think you have a chance. I don't know the Bengals Steelers. I want to take the under there, but I don't know if my heart can handle that. That's like literally you're going to be 100 BPM that whole morning slate. Are they in the morning or afternoon?
I'm not sure, but whenever that game is, I'm going to age 5 years in 60 minutes.
For sure. Definitely. No question. And then who'd you have for your player this week?
All right. So I'm rolling the dice a little bit with my player of the week. I got Antonio Gibson. I think the Giants kind of showed how an inferior team can beat the Seahawks, and that's just controlling the clock and feeding the running back and picking up on, you know, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. So if I'm the football team, I'm just going to my rookie running back and, you know, maybe hitting him out of the backfield a couple times, taking some pressure off Alex Smith and just handing it off and winding the clock and seeing what they can do to stay in the game.
For sure. I like that play as well. He's been huge in our system. You've been seeing Antonio go. I know he got hurt in that game last week. So is he back? He's back and healthy this week. Is that confirmed? Do we know?
I don't know.
We're not sure. He should be fine. I think it was just a tweak. He missed the game though, or a good portion of it. But he's been great in our format. He's been going in drafts, 4-man drafts, 8-man drafts consistently over the last few weeks to the month. So I like him as a player. I definitely think it's more of a sleeper player of the week, but he could totally blow up. And you saw what, as you said. What's the running back you guys have in New York? The 22. He's pretty good.
Oh, Wayne Gallman. Yeah. I'm actually seeing right now that it's likely Gibson could be out, but I will stick with the theory and go with McKissick if that's going to be the case. Because look, Scary Terry's a good player, but Alex Smith is his quarterback. He's shown flashes of, his old self from when he was with the Chiefs, but we're talking about the Seahawks here, and they always get geared up in December, January, and getting ready for the real playoffs. So, I'm going to roll the dice and go with the running back of the football team.
I think that's a good pick too, because Alex Smith is out. I'm pretty sure.
Is he out officially?
Not officially out, but it does. I don't think it looks like he's going to play. And Dwayne Haskins stinks at throwing the football, so I think they'll hand it off a shit ton. So that's actually a good fucking pick. Fucking injuries though, man. Are you kidding me?
J.D. McKissick can catch the ball out of the backfield too. I mean, he's got hands, so.
We'll see. Okay, so I like that. Well, if he plays, so you'll take McKissick if he doesn't play, but if he keeps, we'll keep you at Gibson. Ty, great slate. I actually really do like your slate. I might tail you on a few, not the Bears, but maybe the other two on the favorite and totals. So thanks for those. Jared, can you give us your week 15 best bets, please?
So my favorite, I actually got in on this right when the line came out because it was so low. It just didn't make sense. It was at 4, the Bucks versus the Falcons traveling to a dome. I mean, this is a crucial game for the Bucks as well. Coming off a big win, they're feeling themselves. The Falcons just lost to the Chargers, only putting up 17 points. I mean, I feel like the Bucks are going to kill them here. I feel like it's going to be like when they played the Raiders at the Raiders in the dome there. So I just think the Bucks are going to kill them. So I'm in at 5.5 for this sake purposes. I think it's at 6 now, or it's still at 5.5. But I mean, all the money is going on the Bucks, which just makes sense. This line should be way higher. It didn't make sense why it was 4 when it opened up, but I feel like the Bucks should kill them here. And then I'm fading Ty there, and I'm going Patriots plus 2.5, only from a sense that this line makes. I know I'm saying literally the opposite of what I'm saying, but this makes absolutely no sense. The Patriots just got hammered. The Dolphins pretty much almost beat the Chiefs, and now they're only 2.5 favorites at home. This doesn't make any sense. And I mean, looking at it, Bill Belichick knows this Dolphins team inside and out. I think there's something that just doesn't make sense, so I'm going Patriots. I notice all the money is on the Dolphins pretty much. I think it's like 70% of money right now is on the Dolphins. So I like the Patriots in this game strictly because I think Bill knows this team really well, and they they beat him pretty handily with Fitzpatrick as QB near the start of the year. So I think he knows how to beat this Dolphins team. And then the total, I'm taking the under 44.5 in the Jets-Rams game. Rams are the best team, best defense against quarterbacks, and I can't see the Jets getting more than 10 points in this game. So it's strictly based on the Jets not scoring barely any points, and then the Rams playing down to their opponent, which they have shown in the past when they played the Giants and only beat them like 19-7. So I think I could see like a 30-7 game here or something like that. But I feel like this under is going to hit. And then player of the week, Robert Woods. I feel like he's going to find a touchdown or two this week.
Yeah, he's been a beast too. Robert's been cleaning up. USC product too. Shout out SoCal. But I do like the Jets Rams. I kind of like that play. I hate the Jets. The Jets are not trying to win any games. They're not trying to score. And the Rams aren't going to score 44 themselves. I think that's great reasoning. And for that fact, I think I might be on that with you this week.
I'll give you another reason to like that. The Rams are playing the Seahawks the following week, so they're looking ahead to a big game. I could see their offense underproducing, but you know they're going to hold Sam Darnold probably below double digits.
Yeah.
For sure. So good slate, Jer. Hoping you the best of luck on that one so you can stay ahead of Avery. Speaking of someone who's going to catch you this week, Avery, give us your week 15 bets and tell us why you're going to pass Jeremy for the first time all year this season.
You know why I'm going to pass him? Because I hate every pick I've taken this week, and that's usually when I do well. So I am taking 3 teams that I've told myself I will never bet on again. Number 1, I'm taking the Vikings -3. Fuck it, why not? Vikings -3. I lost against the Bears last week. I am chasing the Bears. I'm going to do it again. I mean, Dan Bailey's the reason they lost the game. They were in control of most of that game, I thought, just fucking watching it. So I think they played well. They just... their opportunities, they didn't get first downs when they had to in their territory, and Dan Bailey missed kicks. He missed 10 points, right?
Yep.
Or more than that, actually.
More. It was 3 field goals and an extra point. I think it was exactly 10 points. So, which is a fuckload, which is like an absolute fuckload.
I think he missed 4 field goals, I thought. Maybe it was the extra point.
I think it was 3. I just looked it up. So that's shit. They haven't cut him yet. I was just looking that up before I took the pick. I wanted to know who's going to kick.
They won't be able to get a kicker because of COVID, right?
Fucking that's
It's just
bullshit.
like the QB situation. They'd have to pass for COVID protocols.
Okay, thanks, Jerry. Dick.
Wait, that actually might be why they did not cut him though. That could be that's pretty fair. I feel like
that he should have.
Well, let's put the punter in there then. He might be able to make some fucking kicks. God damn
Anyone but Dan Bailey. That's why I'm not betting him. So keep going.
But yeah, I'm gonna take the Eagles +7. Like I am just fucking. This is gonna be a miserable weekend for me. I just know it's going to be. Eagles +7. I don't believe in the Cardinals anymore. I am off the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't know about the Cardinals. So wait, so what's your total then?
What's my total? Fucking Lions, Titans under 52.
Wait, I love this play. This is one I actually have the Titans this week for the similar reason you probably took this. The Lions are starting Chase Daniel likely this week. I think Stafford's likely out is what I read in a report this morning. So I actually don't hate that whatsoever.
It was started at 54.5. I got it at 52.5. So I'm happy to get on this. But it's just betting on the Lions. So like that's one of the teams I just said I would never bet on. But this is kind of a different way. So this is a total. I'm betting on them to score 0 points. I would like that a lot. That's my slate. I hate it, but here we go.
And then your player?
Justin Jefferson, my rookie of the year.
Yeah. Guy is absolutely lighting it up lately. I like that play. For my week 15 picks, now this is a big spread for me. Favorite, Titans -10 against the Lions. I am exclusively taking this. I said this on the top of the air here. I love betting the Titans. I do it nearly every week. I think they're going to play their asses off in this spot. I think they're going to beat the hell out of them. I think it's a 14+ point win for the Titans here. If I think Chase Daniel starts, it might even be a bigger win. The Lions are dead. Like the Lions just don't care anymore. This season is over for them. I doubt they're going to roll Stafford out there. Like he has a rib issue. It's like a pretty painful one. I read a report that said he was like in excruciating pain. So I was like, there's no way they're going to roll Stafford out there and just like injure him for no reason when the season doesn't matter. So I'm taking the Titans -10 here confidently. My dog of the week, I'm not going to lie. I hate this pick. I forgot Alex Smith is not, he's out. Is he out for sure? He's very close to out, basically out. Dwayne Haskins will get the nod here, but I have the Washington football team +7 versus the Seahawks. I'm just going to say it now. that's going to be a sweat factory, like through the roof. I really don't like that play at all, but it's still on my card. I didn't love a lot of the underdogs this week. Like I was looking this morning.
There wasn't many.
There was nothing really outstanding. I wanted to take the Falcons against the Bucks, but I was like, do I really want to do that? Like, no, I don't. So I didn't do that, and I took the football team +7. So wish me luck. We'll see how that goes. For my total, I took the Packers and the Panthers under 52 points this week, a Saturday game.
I like this too.
I like this play a lot. Saturday football. I mean, who's excited? I think we're all pumped. A little Saturday night football.
I'm actually not excited.
Well,
really,
you're gonna be doing beer. You're gonna be doing beers either way.
Yeah, I will be doing beers, but it's college football championship, dude, and NFL in there. That's
you're more
tough,
of a college.
man.
See, you're more of a college football guy. I'll have 2 screens going, so I'll have the monitor.
Yeah, it must be nice
TV
to be
going.
rich. I only have fucking one.
No,
I can't watch.
Tell your boy to bring his TV over and figure it out, because we got Saturday night NFL, and I love the under in this game. The Panthers, they don't do it for me this year. Something about them. I was high on them earlier with Teddy. Like, they loved covering. Ty Baum and I were riding Panthers early in the season a lot. I've been off them lately. The Packers, they're the highest scoring offense in the league, but this week I think that changes. Saturday football, anything can happen. Give me the under 52 points in that one. My player of the week, Avery, I'm riding with your, sleeper MVP, Mr. Derrick Henry, King Henry.
Yeah.
Guy is an absolute unit. Pretty much draft him. I was in 10 OwnersBox leagues this week. I drafted him in 80% of them. Got me a ton of points, and I'm riding with him this week again. So give me Derrick Henry against the undermanned Lions this week. That was our pick. So how do we feel overall as a group? Pretty good about each of our slates?
Yeah,
dude, this is a great time to be betting on the NFL. I mean, there's been so many games that there's so much data and trending that you can really fire off a pick that you like. So this should be a profitable segment of the season for us, as some teams decide, they want a better draft pick, and some teams decide they want to make a push for the playoffs.
Agree completely. And for the clip, for the sake of our Instagram and our social accounts, Ty Baum, you start first. We're going to go around in a circle and give out our favorite play of our 3 picks that we gave out in the podcast. So do you want to kick us off and let us know your favorite play for week 15?
Yeah, my favorite play for week 15, I'm going with the Dolphins -2.5 versus the Pats. I think this is going to be a statement game for Tua, and I think they're going to lock up their position in the playoffs with this win.
For sure. Avery, what's your favorite play for week 15?
Favorite play, Detroit, Tennessee, under 52.5.
Jer?
My favorite play is the Bucks -6, traveling to Atlanta.
Traveling to Atlanta. And my favorite play for week 15 is the Packers Panthers under 52. I'm not a total guy. I'm not the total wizard like Jared, but I am riding that play. Saturday night football, anything can happen. Ride it. Packers Panthers under 52. Thank you for that. Thank you for the clip. That was for the clip purpose. Ty Baum, it was an honor having you on today. I love the NFC East insight. I love the nuggets. You came prepared today. It was a really great episode. Our listeners should be thankful for that. And we wish you the best of luck in week 15. And all our listeners who are tailing our bets, we promise a better week this week. We will see you guys next time. Happy week 15.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, head over to OwnersBox.com to sign up and play weekly fantasy sports today. Also, download our app on the iOS and Google Play stores.